Hey everyone, let's talk about how Python finds your variables. Um, it is simple rule LEGB. The order goes like this LEGB. So the priority one is local. So let's talk about local. So what is local? A variable. So why it has more priority? So if you write something in a function, if you write some variable in a function, once the function is done, when you come out, if you try to access that variable in the function, it will just throw an it will throw a name error. You can only use that variable in the function. Next, before going into the enclosing, which requires the understanding of closures, let's talk about global scope. So what is global scope? There's a function. You are using one variable in the function which is already defined at top level, so that is a global variable, so you'll just use it in your function. So the thing is, you can override. So if you suppose let's take the global variable is tax rate. If you are writing something in a function with the tax rate, then what happens is like, so that tax rate variable is limited to the function, and if you come out and print tax rate, whatever the value which is in the global, it will be printed. So that is the point. So local will always have the highest priority. You can override the global variable. Suppose let's take the tax rate is 1, and inside the function, if you write global tax rate is equal to 2, you have overridden it. So that way we can override the global variable. But the important thing is, you should never override any global variables. That's always not a professional code. That is the thing. Next thing, I just want to talk about enclosures. So for enclosures, enclosing scope, you need to understand about closures. So what is closure on high level? It is a function within a function. Yeah, so it's a separate topic. That's the second most priority one, other than the local, enclosing, and global. And next one is built-in. So built-in will have always have the last priority. So if you write some list is equal to, list is a built-in function. If you write list is equal to something and you use that variable, the built-in one, and if you try in a Django query set, a list of query set, then it will throw an error. So that way you have to be very careful. If you are trying to use any built-in, you should never use built-in. You have to check whether if you are using any built-in functions, because it will not throw any error when you're writing. It will only throw when you're accessing it later parts. So that's a important thing. Before I close it up, I just want to talk about something called as let me check, unbounded error. So what happens is like unbound local error. So you define one variable, and inside the function, suppose count is equal to 0. Inside the function, you access count equal to count plus 1. It will throw an error because it's not there in the